I do like a custard cream with my mid-morning cuppa. It just punctuates the day, like a freshly baked scone at 4 o'clock. Well, I make my own scones, of course, straight after lunch every Monday, but I've never quite mastered the custard cream. Before Bake Off, everybody thought I was old-fashioned baking all the time. Well, I used to tell them it goes with the territory. You retire to a Dales village, you have to expect a different way of life. Retired, they used to say, at your age. I think they were all jealous, really. Stuck in the rat race while I'd escaped to the countryside, doing whatever it is people do when they've got a lot of time on their hands and only themselves to think about. One of them put it about that I'd got a lot of money from a rich aunt in Sussex and that I'd taken up pottery. Well, they never asked me directly, of course, but I let them think it was the truth. I've never made a pot in my life. It's peaceful in a rural village, ordered, or at least it is outside a torrid season. Mind you, my friends used to say to me, you can't complain about the tourists, you wouldn't have a village shop without them. Well, I couldn't deny it were a boon, being able to walk down the hill for my groceries every day instead of having to drive into town. Of course, when I lost my licence, it's not just a boon. Once a day those buses run. Well, I don't want to be stuck in town for hours and you have to be up at the crack of dawn to catch it. No, as long as they've got the essentials in the village, I'm fine. Mrs. Robertson always makes sure there's enough custard creams in. Of course, outside of peak season, they don't cater for as many customers. But as long as there's a packet left on the shelf, that'll do me. I've tried quite a few different recipes for custard creams, but none of them quite hits the spot. They must be putting in a secret ingredient at the factory. Do you know, now I come to think of it, I think it was me that started that rumour about the rich aunt, while I still had that Facebook page pretending to be the mousy accountant in the corner office, who always had egg sandwiches for lunch and who never came to the Christmas do. Just around the time everybody else got WhatsApp, she got on Facebook, and I had to delete it all before I got into trouble. Funny the things that resurface when you're not trying to remember them. And another thing my friends used to say, well, back when we were still in touch, was that everybody knows everybody else's business in a small village. Now, you'd think that would be true, wouldn't you? But I think it makes people better at keeping secrets. I mean, we all know the trivial stuff. Who reads the Telegraph? Everybody's favourite dog walking route? Where they keep the spare key, if they bother locking the door at all? And who's most likely to have firelighters in June? But it stands to reason, doesn't it, that somebody must be having an affair. And yet I've never heard a single sniffer scandal. In all the years I've lived here, I've never come across a single fact or even a solid rumour that could be used as the basis for blackmail. One thing everyone in the village knows about me is that I'm very partial to a custard cream. Oh, many's a time I've been in the shop and one of the locals will wave a packet at me. Good job there's 2 left, they'd say. More than my life's worth to take the last one. Oh, and we'd laugh. And then I'd go and pick up the last one from the shelf. And I'd feel a little warm glow. How lovely, I thought, to be part of a community. So you'd think, wouldn't you? You'd think that the last thing any of my neighbours would do would be to buy the last packet of custard creams on the shelf. When the bridge is out because of the floods and Mrs. Robertson's not expecting another delivery for days. It was Edna from Garden Cottage that did it, apparently. She never normally buys custard creams, but Mrs. Robertson said there were no bourbons left and it was the next best thing. She offered me a packet of pink wafer biscuits. Pink wafers? Well, I must have blanched because she said I could have them for half price. But that's not the point, and I told her so. Edna's dog will raise the alarm eventually, I'm sure. That's the thing with a small village. Everybody recognises everybody else's pets. And everyone knows Edna still walks by the river every morning after breakfast, in spite of the high water levels, so they'll know where to start looking. The custard creams were just sitting there on a kitchen table, unopened. Nobody saw me go in and get them. They were all too distracted by the fire at the shop. Now, I'm not one to know all about other people's business, but I think they'll have found that Mrs. Robertson tripped at the top of the cellar steps when she was going to fetch more newspaper, and that she left a pack of firelighters tragically close to the grate when she was trying to take the chill out of her damp back room.
Thanks for watching. You know what to do next. If you don't know what to do, where have you been? Click subscribe. You'll get notifications for all of our new Slackline Cyberstories, as well as some other great content from Slackline Productions. See you soon.